Now let's just talk about the inputs. So for example, the player hit W on their keyboard and we want to see that, we want to get that and move our character with that, right? So I want to delete these print string, I don't want to use them, and I don't want to use this begin play and event think and all of these. I don't want to use them for now, but I will show you when you wanted to use them. So for now, let's just compile, and in here we can search for input. But if we go down and find the input in here, you can see the input. And in input, you can have analog input, Android input, because you know Unreal Engine can export the game as an Android and gamepad, and the one that I need is keyboard event, okay? And you can see all of them is in here. So if you go down, for example, I want to find W in here, right? So whenever they press the W, this whatever that is connected to this execution pin will be executed. And when they release the W key, this release whatever that is connected to this release execution pin will be executed. So for example, in the press, I want to say print a string, and in the string I want to say W pressed, okay? And in the release I want to say print a string, and in here I want to say W released, okay? And I want to change the color of this W release printed string to red, for example, or pink, right? So now, if we compile and run our game, you can see when I hit W, it says W pressed again. No, I'm holding it, it says W pressed. W pressed. But when I release it, it says W released. And this string stay there for 2 seconds because we set it to be 2 seconds, and default value is 2 seconds as well. So one way to do input is like this, but there is a better way. Let's just delete them and compile and go to edit, go to project setting. And in project setting, if you go down, you can see the input setting in here. Now, in here, we can create our own inputs. So for example, in action mapping, we can click add in here and expand it. And now in here, again, expand these. And in here, I want to say forward, okay? And in here, I can choose a keyboard event for that. For example, I want to use W, let's just find it, W. With that, we can get an event whenever W clicked, and the event is called forward. So now if we go to our event graph in here and search for forward, and in this case, it's better to check this context sensitive so we can find whatever that is relative to this project. So click on forward. This is the actual event that we create. So when they hit W, it will execute whatever that is connected to this pressed execution pin. So for example, again, print a string, and in here, I want to say forward and pressed, and in released I want to say print a string, and in here I want to say forward released. Okay, now if I compile and run, it will exactly work as before. If we hit W, you can see it says forward pressed and stay for 2 seconds, and when we release the W key, it says forward released. We didn't change the color, of course, in here. So that's how input working in here.